Good morning. Welcome to Writers Write. I'm having trouble with things popping up where they should pop up. Let me do a little housekeeping here. I'm Ann Kimbrough. I don't know why I can't find the big red clock. I'm gonna cancel it. It's Friday. It's a Friday kind of Friday so far. I stayed up too late on Thursday night. All right, let's see. I'm gonna open the big red clock again. All right, now I can hear it. And of course, I've been using this computer for many other things. It's not quite ready to stream. We'll get it going. Then we'll get us into our first of 2 writing sprints. Dang it, it's not showing up. I don't get it. You did, let's see. I'm still promoting my eyes scary. Let's see if I can find another picture for that. Everything is... Let's try this one. It's big. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now I'm really messing with things. All right. I don't understand why it resizes stuff on me, but it does. All right, let me try to get in the chat, and maybe I can get the clock up. I just don't know why it won't come where it's supposed to come. This is why you can't mess with anything. All right. It's not even on the list of things. Darn. I changed my background. And I think that's what did it. Because we finally reconfigured this place to be a studio at other times. Just the one I always change it to. Morning! Oh, Sergio's there. Hey, better days. Oh, there it is. It finally came up. I beat it. Good. We can... Oh, I'm going to start the writing sprint because it's 5 after. And then I can chat. All right. On your mark. Get set. The first writing sprint of the morning. Go. Or day. It might not be your morning. Okay. That music sounds loud too. So I haven't gotten the sprint. Yeah. I should do these things earlier. I was not early this morning. And someone called at like 7:30, which was fine because I was getting up. Or I was, sort of heading that way. But it was just like a telemarketer. I didn't answer it. But how is that possible? Why are they calling? All right. It looks like all this is working. Yvette's here too. Hey guys. All right, let's see. All right. And Yvette did a wonderful thing, so sweet. She created a clock for me, a timer with music. And honestly, there's no way I can play it on this setup. I mean, it was totally messed up this morning just because I plugged in a new interface to this computer and ran studio microphones. They're over there. You can't see. Well, you can almost see one. These are the new studio mics. Oh, they're, look at these. Can you see it? Uh-oh. You're going to break something. All right. You can't really see it. Ah! I knew I was going to do that. Luckily, it's just a microphone stand. All right. Now it's gonna fall over. I'm just gonna lay it on the ground. Good one, Ann. I'm breaking the new equipment. I'm breaking it in. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, everything's off. This is pivoted wrong. There we go. There's only so much this system can do, and when I mangle it... Oh yeah, my chair's too low. This is what I gotta learn, how to go from one to the other. It's not gonna be easy. I'm sure it didn't break anything. The microphones are pretty, didn't really fall. But the stand needs to be fixed. Oh, I don't want the cord to do that. Sorry. Show and tell cannot happen. Ah! Go that way! Okay. It's all off the floor. Turn that interface the wrong way. So I got a fancy interface. It didn't fall. The microphone fell. Luckily it's carpeted. No one saw that, right? Gosh. Anyway, it's gonna take a little time to figure out how to shift between this studio and the setup we have to run all the sound and control all the sound in the video. It's a big leap. I think it's one worth taking, but it is a lot of work. And as I could see, when I turned this system back on, it didn't want to do what it normally does. That's the problem. I almost have to go live to turn everything back on. It's really strange. Yeah, and unfortunately, Yvette, if you want, you could share the link, or I could share the link here for people to use it. She created this really great 25-minute timer clock with music. And I love the end where it's like, keep going, keep writing. And I could play it on YouTube, which I do on this laptop, but I can't bring it on the screen. It has to be one of these boxes. And this is a still image, and this is an app. And then over here is where the comments come up. I don't think I don't think it can play a video. For one thing, this is the, well, maybe I could. I don't know. I couldn't see the comments if I did, but I'll work it out. I'll try to find a way. But obviously this morning I was behind. And I had already too many issues with the other system because everything was off. When I turned on the microphones for this setup, were totally maxed out, which it doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't affect what is going on with this setup. It's a totally different system. But for some reason, the computer, when you plug in this other interface that you run all the microphones through, it just, it changes all your preferences, I guess. In every program. You can see where the technology is just this much beyond me. That's one of these things. I want it to work. I don't want to know how. Yeah, I do want to know how, but I'll figure it out and it will be less hairy. Or I'll just have to start earlier since I have to play with everything with you. But I really think it's so sweet. I wonder, can I pull it up? I can't pull it up. Yeah, I can't even, well, I can't play something and pull something up. Anyway, I'll figure out a way that I'll have to test it. I'll just have to go live with a test. If I pop up in your notifications over the weekend, you can maybe ignore me unless you want to tune in and see how messed up I am. Okay, but is it okay if I post the link? I will, because I mean it's on your YouTube page. I'd love people to find it, use it when you need a writing timer. It's really good because there aren't a lot. If you went and just searched, outside of me coming here, going to one of my old videos, I don't know how many 25-minute timers there are out there. And I think 25 is a good amount of time. And it's really nice when it's already set up and you have a really good buzzer at the end. It's fun. I like the music you created. It starts out kind of moody and then it peps up and it takes you on a journey. So yes, I can post it. All right, I'm going to find it. Actually, I think I could find it easier on my Instagram. It's too many devices. Okay. Well, and then it's very disturbing to wake up in the morning with your phone ringing and then your alarm going off. Oh, yikes. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, I can see the link. I think that'll work. It's not too long to, I'm gonna type it in here first to see if it's the right one. I mean, if I'm seeing the whole one, I know it's the right one. Of course, it'll be way easier to type. It'd be great to copy it. What's going on with you guys outside of watching me fumble all around? Hopefully that was entertaining. High entertainment. Gosh. How long did it take you to create this? This is, you're really getting into creating the music, Yvette. It's cool. Let's see. Actually, I can create a better, shorter version if this is right. I mean, if I'm typing it in right. All right. That's not right. Gosh. I can see already that I did not type it correctly. But, almost. Where's that come from? Dagnabbit. What did you do? Is it? Feels like a Monday, like when the things just kind of test you. It took 3 days. Oh my gosh. Oh, so you do have a musical background. Cool. You played with the violin. 12 years is a long time, my friend. I bet you can play a decent... What's it? No, I want to ask it. I was going to ask what's the difference, because I heard somebody was debating this, but it was just like a funny debate. The difference between a violin and a fiddle. Are they the same instrument? All right. Stop doing that. Okay, I won't do it. All right, I gotta try this again. I am gonna put this link up. Promises, promises. I had it all typed in and then I hit something wrong. I need my coffee right now. I really do. Yeah, so I went to bed late. I was writing. Do you do that? Just suddenly stay up late. And I don't know, when I get writing late at night, I don't want to go to bed. You know, even if I get to a stopping point, which I did, I was just sort of on a roll that kind of wakes you up. I didn't do anything dumb like, you know, drink a bunch of water or coffee. Sometimes I like to have a coffee. At the end of the day, that's never really a smart idea. Okay, I'm going to pay attention to what I'm actually typing. But that definitely contributed. And the last few mornings, I finally got the guys come to check the... Do you guys winterize, you know, like check your heating system before you turn it on for the winter? Anyway, we do here. So those guys, I had them set, they were supposed to come Wednesday, and they didn't. The trouble of a writer. When you're at home, you're always the one that has to handle these things. And they finally came on Thursday, but that required me to get up early both of those days. Wah, wah. I like to stay up late, not wake up early. Okay, I found it! Yay! All right. You know what? The next 25, I could play it, so you'd at least hear the music, but you can't see it. I don't know. That would lose the effect. I want you guys to see it. All right, let's see. Copy this. I gotta make a tiny URL for it because it's too much to type again. I guess I could email it to myself to get it from one computer to the other. I'll just make up one. Let's see. Short pen. This is probably already up there. I'll try. Yeah, it's already there. I don't know if I call it a writing timer. Oh. That worked! Alright, so here it is. So somebody click on that and see if you get Yvette's writing 25-minute writing timer. and you'll have, it goes to YS Books, which you should subscribe to her. For sure. Let's see. Why am I not? I'll subscribe. I thought I'd subscribed you. But I will. And please give her a thumbs up, which I will. I already thumbs up that. Why wasn't that there? All right, we're going to get on the right track. Those of you who are writing, there's still 12 minutes. Let me see what's happening in the chat. Are you there pitying me? Say, comment down, Ann. It'll be okay. I really, yeah, the microphones are fine. I just wanted to show them off. I guess I could pivot the camera. That would have been better. There, you can see the other side. The dang picture's in the way. Anyway, at some point I will take a picture when I get the studio up and running. So we got it all together, we tested it, but we didn't have all our cameras ready. So we didn't actually leave it up, and I was going to record with my husband, record an episode, and we did not do that because we didn't have the cameras. Or actually, only one is powered up. What do you say? I'm putting my socks on. It's chilly. Did it get chilly where you guys are? I mean, in a good way chilly. This is like early fall for probably most of you. I bet you guys are dealing with real weather. Really, really weather. All right. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that link myself and see if it works. Did I spell it? It did work. Yep, it works. All right, that's good. So now it's up. We'll listen to it for our second 25. Or should they see it? They should see it, right? I did. Oh, Sergio, I love the video of Nicaragua. It was gorgeous. What beautiful, lush hills, rolling hills with all the fog. Oh, it kind of looks mystical with all that fog. I lived in Germany for a while, and I can remember times when we had fog like that. It wasn't a lot. I mean, it wasn't every day. You'd think there'd be probably more for Germany, but just where we were, you could run into fog often, but maybe it was just gone before I got up. But I remember one morning when we were in high school running, you had to run this cross-country track, which was not easy. It was, there was a steep hills and running around, and it was a foggy morning. And so you started up higher and you ran into the fog, which was really kind of creepy. I didn't run with the other girls. And of course the boys usually ran way ahead of everybody. And everyone sort of ran in groups. And for some reason I had just run ahead, and I stopped because I'm in the middle of all this fog, and you could maybe see, I want to say 6 feet in front of you. It wasn't really closed in, but it was, in the sense of it really blocked me from other people. And I knew I was in the middle of this forest, way down the hill from the school, right? And I knew all around me was forest, but there were people on the path, and I know that there were some boys ahead of me running, and they were fast runners. So I was scared for a second to be out in this. It gives you a sense of this quiet. If you're ever in the middle of fog and nothing else is around, it really kind of closes the sound system in, like you're in a sound booth or something. And so, teenage girl, it scared me. So I decided I would run to keep up with the other boys, but I didn't want them to know I was scared. So I just kept them on the edge of the fog. So I was running much faster. And the PE teacher was so impressed with my time, because of course I blew my normal time. Fear is the motivator. Yeah, I totally set up false expectations for the teacher, because I didn't tell anybody why I ran so fast that day. But anyway, seeing your video about Nicaragua and the fog that you had caught, it was beautiful, and it totally reminded me of that time. It's a good memory. I don't remember the fear anymore. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I wouldn't be afraid, but you might still be. I mean, it's just one of those moments where you really felt, this is a setting of a horror movie. I better run fast. Yep. Fun times. Oh, just under 7 minutes left for your first Friday sprint. I have no idea what I'm working on. No idea. Let's see. Did I lose everybody? Oh. Better Days popped in. Oh, I need to officially... Let's see. YS. Alright, cool. So, Friday. We're here again. Oh gosh. I might have to delete this whole episode, because I don't like that I knocked my microphone on the floor. I know someone's going to tag that and make people come see me knock my microphone. Yeah, they're really sturdy. Shure microphones. I should have unplugged them. So in my efforts, so now they're all messed up. Well, I can read. Something fell off the end of this one. It must not have been on very well. Oh, the balance. He didn't put that on. Unless that fell off. It did not. Oh yeah, it did. The heavy part. Alright, that obviously wasn't on there very good. It should take a blow. This is the part that wasn't on well. Alright. I've fixed that. Or that was the one I put together. Who knows? It's probably the one I put together? I don't know why I blame my son. He does this for a living, sound. So he probably did it right. I should have had him check my work. What was I thinking? Oh, God. Oh, let's see what. Oh, wow. Yeah. The elevation is way different. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I've always heard that runners, don't runners sometimes practice at higher elevations so that when they then run at lower elevations, like in a competition, they can breathe easier. They're faster. Yeah, that's a thing. Right? We love watching any show about Mount Everest. So, that's what they said. If Mount Everest was at sea level, it would take away everything that makes it hard. Because it's not necessarily a hard climb. It's only hard because you can't breathe. That danger zone up there. Ugh. I like those shows. It's like one of those things that I would never do. I wouldn't even go to base camp. My riding partner, he my screenwriting writing partner, he had a plan in 2020. He was supposed to go to the Mount Everest base camp, and he'd been training to even that elevation, because you have to hike there, and that's, you'd feel it. But unfortunately, because of COVID, it all fell apart. I don't know if he's going to replan that trip, but I felt really bad for him. It's like one of those, I mean, that's an epic trip to contemplate and do, and he was all set to go. He had it all arranged. I don't even know if he got his money back, because he had to pay for a guide to just take him, and I'm kind of afraid to ask him, because I feel like some of it, he must not have gotten all his money back. I don't know. I just feel like the odds are he wouldn't, and I don't want to make him sad to remember. Hopefully it could go towards a credit and he could do it next year. It was a crazy plan. I mean, me personally, I feel sorry he lost the opportunity, but now I don't have to worry about him. Do you do some hiking, Serge, like that? That's extreme, though. That's really extreme. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to work on something for the second riding sprint after I get my coffee. Girl needs her coffee. Yeah, I've been writing on my paranormal cozy mystery, just sort of as a little side thing to work on. So I might look over what I wrote for that. Yeah, that's the one that I had to totally add in things. Oh, NaNoWriMo's still going on. We're not in the middle of all that, but boy. I hear you. Yeah, no, yeah, I'd be, no. I could not do that kind of hiking at altitude. Yeah, I mean, you have to, it's crazy. Some people just think you can just go do it, right? They're like, maybe they've never experienced different altitudes. It makes a difference. I mean, that is often the times why things are harder, why mountains are harder to get to the top of. Even if there's a nice path, you're going to feel an altitude shift. So where we live in Las Vegas, obviously this is a valley and it's known for being very hot, but we have Mount Charleston. Woo, there's our timer. Yay, the first riding sprint is done. And Anne can finally have her coffee. I hope you can have something, a beverage of choice. I'm doing Starbucks Sunrise Blend with my scary mug with the blood splatter. The black mug came in, but I ordered the tall one. I like it, but I'd have to preload it with a beverage. So I'll have to get maybe a smaller. The small size only fits into this machine. Shazam! Wait for it. Are you there? Where's my sound? Ah, there it is. But anyway, yeah, people here go climbing up in Mount Charleston, and it's great. Because if you are melting in the valley, you just go up to Mount Charleston. You can definitely cool off right away. I mean, we get snow up there regularly. There's a ski hill. It's a small little ski hill. I've never actually gone there to ski because, well, I don't ski anymore. I like to walk. In the sense of I like to protect my knees. You know, it's like, what would you like to do? Push it with skiing or walk on a regular basis? And yeah, I didn't want to hurt myself. I had some knee issues there. So I gave up doing crazy things like skiing, and, you know, my knees got better. What'd you say? You went to the top of a mountain? Yeah. Well, see, the fog, that was a problem in the videos, that the fog did stop you from seeing where you were. I couldn't tell where you were on this. I thought in many ways, it looked sort of like rolling hills, but I bet they weren't. Because of the fog, it sort of lowers everything in your mind. You know, I didn't know if you were at the bottom or the middle, the top. I couldn't see any peaks. So you have to go back when there's no fog. No, right? You can't go back. You said that. You've been posting things that now you can't go back to Nicaragua or they would arrest you. I think you said something like that. That's crazy! Freedom of speech. We take it for granted. Oh. Can you smell the coffee? Honestly, the smell is better than anything. I mean, honestly, if I had to rate why I love coffee, number one, because I like to do like the Europeans. Number one is the smell. Number two is because I like to hold the warm mug of coffee. Sorry. It's weird. Number three is the flavor. If you had enough creamer. Okay. It's almost time to get us started. Yeah, so Friday is today. Creamer. And I've got to plan my blood splatter. Yes, it was a hard morning for Anne. Her mug showed how scary things were. I don't want to spill my coffee while I'm trying to show off my mug. All right. Let's see if that's enough creamer. Yeah. Taste is a little bitter. I've really gotten used to that Pete's with the flavor. As she adds more creamer. All right. I like it. I like it like that. I don't know. Is obsessing over coffee kind of weird? A lot of us do it. Oh. Almost dropped that one. Kind of slippery fingers there. But yeah, so it's Friday. I've been totally focused on creating this studio for the podcast. And I have. So close. Oh, this light's hot. So it does require me to move everything around. Oh, that's better. I need to put it all on wheels so I can wheel it in and wheel it out. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I'm really pleased. The sound's going to be 100% different. And I might try to run my sound through it as well. Nah, that won't work. Never mind. Because if I did, I mean, it would make me sound better for you here, but then I'd have to pipe in the music. Yeah. You know, when you get fancy, it does make some things better and some things worse. It does. All right, I'm going to put, well, I already have put, the 25 minutes are on the clock. Let's do our second writing sprint of the morning. Boop, boop. You ready for this? On your mark, get set, write. Ding, ding, ding. Ah, the music is just starting over to a new spot. Yeah, I'm going to look at what I wrote last night, see if I like it. Basically, I had written 9 chapters. I have taken, I'm 2 in. I fixed 2. And I still have a whole thing of cut stuff too. I gotta, oh, okay. I can move that. Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, it's not too much that I cut. I think I rewrote it. Ooh. You know, Sergio, I was thinking that the other day about, I have a friend, a dear friend that lives in Australia. And I saw something, the things that pop up on your YouTube. It was about a funnel spider, really scary. Something about was it the funnel spider? Like, it can even create a bubble of air and be in the water, like down at the bottom of a pool or something. And you could step on it. And if you get bit by a funnel spider, you're gone. It's over. I don't want to go anywhere where they have something like that. I mean, I know there's things where I live that could kill you. But I'm not out where they are. And they're not where civilization is. You know, I don't know. I just find that so now it's like I don't want to go climbing in Nicaragua because I don't want to brush into a plant that could burn my skin. But those are good details for stories. We have to gather these little nuggets. See, for a mystery, I could put that somebody has smuggled that plant into the United States and has used it to harm somebody. And that's the kicker. How you figure out who the killer is. One little detail like that. So I keep track of these things. You never know when you might need it. Sergio, you're not making me like hiking any more than I already don't. I like walking. I'm not a hiker. I don't know. It's me, and I love nature, but I like to look at it through a window. Or on a patio. I like the fresh air. I like the vistas, the views. But no. Yeah, walking amongst them. No. I'm a city girl. I'm such a city girl. I'm glad you had long sleeves. Yeah, I would. I'd have long sleeves. I'm sure it was kind of hot, muggy, humid, I imagine. Sometimes it's good to wear long sleeves. I've read. Yeah, because it traps in the moisture, so that way it doesn't instantly evaporate. So even though it seems like it'd be hotter to wear long sleeves, it's smarter. I don't know. I've had people debate this with me when I've had long sleeves on in very hot weather, and I'm like, well, did you know? And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. I guess it's all relative to how hot it is, what kind of breeze you got going. Yeah, Vet, you said so something about that the Hunter's Moon was in your little blurb that you were going to use on Kindle Vella for the book, right? So you just did a little research and it didn't fit the time of year for your story? Was that what the problem was? It's good that you look that stuff up because, you know, I feel like those are little things that some people know them. And knowing about the moons isn't that unique of a thing that if you're one of your readers would be like, that can't happen. That doesn't happen. So what do you do? Did you take it out, or did you change the time of year, or where they were? Imagine. Yeah, I do a level of research for all my stories, but I tend to do spot research, especially since I'm writing, when I write my mysteries. I do a lot of spot researches when I figure out what the mystery needs. And then I look for something, you know. So in your case, I don't know, I do have a story with more mythological characters. The lyric story does. So yeah, I've had to really delve into old mythology, Greek and Roman, and see which one am I plucking from, and am I mushing it all together? I feel like in that I have some leeway as long as I explain it. So I don't know if that helps you. Like if you put the Hunter's Moon into context, why it would be the way it is in your story. If you can, if that's part of the story and it explains it, then maybe you can get away with it. Oh. Okay. Well, that's pretty pivotal to your story. Yeah, you've got to have that trigger that your characters. So my paranormal mystery, my character she's I like I like that word, time shift. She can time travel. She's a time travel witch, I decided. Because I already had this element of time travel in the original story, and I never explained it because I'd only written 9 chapters and I hadn't figured it out. It was one of those ones where I figured I'll figure out how she can do it. So I've decided she's from witches and she doesn't know it, and that's her witch power, is to manipulate time. So I think that answers it for anybody, and I don't have to get into it too much because she doesn't know what it is either. So I don't know. Is it something your character has to figure out? So then why didn't the Hunter's Moon... Well, you probably don't want to get into it. But it's good that you figured out that there was a little bit of a flaw. See, to me, that's like the sign of a really good writer. And you are all really good writers. But to me, it's a really good sign. Because there are a lot of writers out there. And if you feel like this is you, please change it. Because if you know you have a flaw and you change it, that actually does make you a really good writer. If you know you have a flaw and you just don't want to deal with it, well then I don't know. That means you're not serious about it. But a lot of people write stuff and they'll send it out, or they'll just consider it done when they know things like that exist in their story and they don't want to change it. Or they don't want to take the time to change it because it's hard. Sometimes it is hard to find an issue that that's talking about, and oh, you retracted all your messages? You probably don't want people to know your storyline. That's okay. It's just one of those things that as writers, we do hit blocks with our story. And I don't mean like a writer's block, but I mean a block that we understand, we realize the logic is off somehow. And sometimes we won't fix it. And if we don't fix it, it doesn't mean it goes away. Someone else will notice it. And when we're publishing our own stuff, then I think you even have to be more sensitive to those moments. Because like I do have friends that read for content, but I don't always send out all my books to all my friends. I have plenty of friends that will read stuff, but I don't want to over ask people to read stuff. You know, I figure like I can do that work myself if I'm just honest with myself that something isn't right. Like this paranormal cozy mystery. That was once just a cozy mystery. It wasn't right. It was just like, I was just like, it just took a turn and it was becoming like a romance. Just sort of how the setup was. I wasn't writing romance into it, but just the setup and how the characters were behaving. And I'm like, that's not my goal here. I'm not going to make a romance. And I decided I'm not going to just keep on the path I was writing and sort of ignore that it had become more romantic than a cozy mystery should be. And I let it sit aside for a while. That's why it's nice to have several projects. And I came back and figured out, oh, there's a whole plot point missing. And it helped that I read something about another cozy writer that had gone to paranormal cozy mysteries. So that sort of opened that market for me in the sense of I wasn't as aware of it. But I did research. It's a very thriving, good market. I started to read books in the genre and realized that my take was a slightly different avenue than some other authors. And I thought that was good. I mean, it's nice when you can fall into a niche, but you have your own lane. I mean, it could backfire because people might say, we don't really like that way. We like this kind of book in that area. So anyway. It's time to stretch a little for me. I know I usually make everyone stretch at the halftime. At the break. So yeah, I have got to plan the weekend. Especially if you guys are doing NaNoWriMo. I hope you are planning your weekend, and you might have an overall plan of right. But in general, I do that all the time, and I like to have my overall plan is to always do some writing every day. But I like to, it's nice to plan a few days, especially weekends, which kind of work together. But it's also like at the end of the day, it's nice to look and decide what's going on tomorrow. I know with my husband, we always do that because he goes to bed early because he wakes up really early. So before he heads up, I'm always like, okay, what's on the agenda tomorrow? Because it's nice for me to know what he's doing, and when he'll be home and all that kind of good stuff. And when are the good times when I would expect. We always touch base during the day, which is nice. He's good that way. He's very good about seeing how I'm doing, how my day's going. I don't need someone to do that, but it's nice. It's a nice thing. It shows someone cares. But I think it's really great to set up like what's on my agenda tomorrow and how do I get my writing done around it. Because we all have lives. Yay. Good lives. How's your work going, Serge? It's nice that you could tune in today. Are you not at work on a Friday? Of course, it's much later where you're at. So I was going to promote it, but it's too early. So I'm part of this anthology. And I had to write an essay where I out myself for my age. I wrote an essay on being a woman and aging in Hollywood as a writer. And why it's so much fun to not admit your age and to lie about it. So anyway, I finally admitted my age in paper. So I don't really want you to read it because I don't want you to know my actual age. But I'm over it. I've decided to get beyond it. My feeling is if you have an issue with your age, at some point, that's going to turn into a different age issue. If it's first an age issue about admitting your age, I mean, I don't like to admit my age because I don't look my age. I don't feel my age. I don't act my age. And I never will. But it also, if you work in Hollywood, people think if you're a certain age, you have no fresh ideas, which is ridiculous. People have fresh ideas. I mean, there's some that don't, but it usually doesn't have that much to do with their age. It has to do with them. So there. But what I realized in writing this essay was that I did have to sort of deal with it and own it, because even though I was playing this game that I didn't believe in about age meaning anything as far as creativity, if anything, age can help you with creativity because you've experienced more things and you have more perspective and understanding of other people. Oh, you're heading out to work soon. Cool. Thanks for popping in. So, I mean, age is a benefit, right? But I realized that I was starting to believe it, because I was playing the game about age, that in some way meant I was endorsing it, which I don't. But I had to realize that in many ways, I think the self-talk was that, yeah, you can't admit your age because you are old. So I got over that. And writing the essay really helped because now I feel like it's behind me. If age is an issue, it's an issue. I honestly feel like with people in Hollywood, they should judge the material. And most times they will see the material first. And if they need to judge me as a writer that they want around, well then sure, that's always going to happen. Because you have to be able to work with people. And if age is part of that decision, well then so be it. Which is why I like to control so much of my content, because that's where the power comes. If you can get people to judge you on what you're creating first and on who you are second. So all the things that I am, a woman, a woman over 40, all those things, a mother, whatever those things are that people would judge me by, I want them to judge me on that. Like the second, third, fifth thing they consider. I want them to judge me on what I create first. And if that doesn't work for them, then fine. But I would think a lot of people would feel that way, that they'd rather be judged on what they're creating than on what they look like. I mean, really, what does what we look like have to do with what we write? I mean, all things all things considered. It probably has a lot to do because it's part of our DNA of how we've lived our lives. So obviously that influences what we write. But I don't want people to judge me on my DNA until I think our writing and our work and that content creating speaks for itself. Okay. But to get back to what I was saying, so this anthology I wrote, and the other thing I realized about it is that now that I'm past it, I'm over the age part. Well, no, I really feel like I have in writing this essay. Writing transforms us. It really did make me look at it all in a different light and say, well, you're just being stupid. If age doesn't mean anything to you, it doesn't define how you are acting, or at least you don't want it to define how you're acting, then be aware that it is defining how you're acting because of how you're treating it. So I feel like I've stepped through some kind of door, over some threshold, and gotten over that, and that allowed me to see down the road that the path I was on and how I was thinking about age was then going to lead to what I can see in my dad, and I don't want that at all, because he's at an age, he's in his 90s, where he's looking at age in the way of, I only have so much time left. And that's a terrible way to live. Because if you tell yourself you only have so much time left, you will limit the time you have. And so I feel like writing this essay has done two things for me. It sort of exploded this lie I was telling, even though I wasn't lying per se. It was sort of a don't ask, don't tell situation. But now that that's kind of over, I've also seen where the path I was on, that what would happen after the fact when you can't hide your age anymore. And then I would start having that same philosophy probably that my dad has, because that's an example I see around me, where once you get to a certain age, you start counting the years you have left. And I don't ever want to do that, because I think that totally limits us. So, and it's like self-predicting. If you tell yourself you only have so much time left, or you're only allowed so much time on this planet, then that's going to happen. So it all goes into this whole thing that I was talking about writing and planning my next day. It's really great to point your mind in the correct direction, because it will drift off. It's sort of like meditation. Meditation, when you're trying to learn how, which I still am a novice, your mind will drift, and you have to pull it back to neutral. And that's what I'm doing with aging and planning my days. I'm pulling it back to neutral, going, okay, this is what I've said I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do in addition for me, for my writing. Yeah, that's really smart, Yvette. I like that idea. You don't put energy into things you can't change. But I would have to say that a lot of us will do that until we look at it. So, yeah, in my case, I didn't feel like I was putting a lot of energy into being younger. But in some ways, on a subconscious level, it was a thing for me. So only by looking at it could I get past it. So it's not like you can ignore it. So I guess in some ways you do have to put energy into unchangeable things so you know how to deal with it, or what you really think about it. This is so deep. But these are the kind of things that, I feel like it's important to discuss, because it matters for writing character. It helps. It also helps in constantly creating more of what we're creating, whether it's books or movie scripts or podcasts. All this stuff drives us. And I definitely was focusing a lot on, time. It came out in my story as a time witch. It came up in my life as a number, and age. And it's nice to have some clarity about it, where for many years it's just been something that I said didn't bug me, but probably bugged me a little. It's hard to just say I'm not going to put time into energy into something, because you don't always have 100% control of where your energy is going. So, but I hear you. I can't change. Well, I guess I won't say that. I was going to say I can't change that I'm a woman. I could change that. And I support anyone that wants to change their gender. Because I have friends. I understand the turmoil they go through to make those decisions. So, I don't know. Compassion. Yeah, I think compassion and gratitude are two words that I focus on more. Is that an aging thing? I'm more aware of? I just feel like when you're younger, there's just so many stages in life, which is really what's fun about creating characters, because you can explore these stages of what you experience, because we all have slightly different experiences. And that to me is also the benefit of reading what others write and watching movies, because I get to see it through a different eyes, and that makes me wiser, better, gives me a chance to be better. Yvette, why are the messages retracting all the sense? Are you taking them down? I don't know. I hope it's not the system. You were saying wise things. Don't remove them. Oh, wow. We're almost done with our second writing sprint. Is anyone writing? Yeah, I looked over what I did last night. It looks okay. I think I'm at that point where I'm going to push through. It's harder, you know. I have that whole philosophy of like, don't constantly rewrite yourself. Yet what I'm doing right now is what I need to do. So I do have to draw the line at some point and say, okay, you've gotten it. You were here. You've gotten it, the story to here. It probably still needs to go to here, but push on. Push on. A lot of times I call it passes. You do a pass on a story. So I'll usually write a rough draft, whatever medium I'm working in. I'll write a rough draft, and the goal is to get to the end of it. And then I'll go back through, and obviously I try to do a pass where I'm focusing on the plot. You know, I want a cohesive story that has a beginning, middle, and end, whatever that is. A lot of times I will think of theme, and combine that with where's the subtext of the story that I am either hitting too hard or not hitting at all. And then I can do a pass for each character. Yay! We did it! Another 25 minutes! Done! Yeah! Anyway. Yeah, I do passes. Sometimes I do passes for grammar. I say sometimes. I always do a pass for grammar. But I mean like a pass for, I have my list of things I commonly misspell. So, and I use other lists that other people put out there. Commonly misspelled words, or, you know, the ones that your systems won't pop up because there are still words. I do searches for those and read those lines. All those China tricks. And you still miss stuff. It's not right. Well, how'd you do? Did you get some writing done? I did wax kind of into philosophizing things today. Sorry. You know, you can always mute me and just follow the timer. I kind of assume most people do. But I had some action with the deep stuff. I mean, you know, I knocked over my microphones, so that was thrilling. Anyway, please look in the comments and follow that link to the writing timer. Next time, well, I can go back in after and put it in the comments, the description. I think that's a cool tool that made for us. For me, I'm very honored that she thought of me that way, because, that's 3 hours of her life. She did something for me, and I thank you so much. And I thank all of you for tuning in and going on this writing journey. Let's make a plan, a pact, to do some good writing this weekend on whatever your project is. And I hope that you can join me on Monday and tell me that you really got a little extra push from being here to do your writing this weekend. And of course, I would say make a plan right now of what you're going to write in between all the good things that are happening this weekend for you. Whether it's hiking or just taking care of business. Okay, guys, have a good one. Be creative. And I'll catch you Monday.